Hello, 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 hello. Thank you so much for joining me on this awesome Tuesday morning for Quick Word Tuesday. I thank each and every one of you for joining in with us. If you can take just a moment, share and tag and share with somebody and let them know that I am on. I'll greatly appreciate it. I thank each and every one of you for faithfully rocking and rolling with me as we go forth in the word of God, as we go forth, helping you to be able to understand what God is speaking to us during this time, during this season. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Listen, while you're sharing, while you're tagging, while you're letting somebody know that I am on, I'm just going to present myself to everybody else. I am Dr. Deidre Samuel McLeod. I am the awesome pastor, yes, of Divine Destiny Ministries in the great city of Hartsville, South Carolina. It is the place that you can be different in order to make a difference. I am also the online facilitator of the amazing women's ministry on Facebook. You're able to go in, answer a few questions if you're a woman, and be able to join on in. And I'll be so happy to allow you to join in with us. It's a community where we help build each other, encourage one another, restore your crowns, and let you know that you're someone special, that God has chosen you for such a time as this. I am so grateful for all of you. I am also the owner, the leader, the CEO of the amazing school of the North Carolina, South Carolina Theological Seminary School. If you're looking to further your education, join me, inbox me, let me know that you're looking to be able to join us. I am also the CEO of the Life of the Prophet Fellowship. I'm telling you, the LOP Fellowship. If you a minister, you a pastor, you a leader, and you got clean hands and a pure heart, and you say, hey, I need a community of people that I need to join in with so that I can be able to help make me better, so we can be able to grow, go forth in the things that God has spoken and declared over our lives. I promise you, you want to do an interest meeting with us so that we can set up something with you. If it's just you by yourself, hey, and say, I want to do it. I want to join in. Join me. Send me an invite. DM me. Let me know that you're interested so we can go forth and do what God has called and ordained for us to be able to do. I believe that God is calling us somewhere. And it's not just in our backyard, that God is calling us someplace to be able to impact the nation, to be able to impact the world so that we can accomplish the things that God has spoken and declared over our lives. Hey, cousin Avian, how are you? How are you? Thank you so much for joining me on this morning. So the word on today, I had an opportunity to go speak this morning to fifth graders at Black Creek Elementary School on this morning. I meant to get some pictures. I forgot, and it was all on in my mind to be able to do it, and I still forgot to do it. That's why I'm so grateful for my media team, because when I'm not thinking about anything, they are always thinking. They're taking pictures and they grabbing up stuff, content, to be able to help me to continue to go forth and do what God has called and ordained for me to be able to do. And I'm so grateful for them. Lets you know that you cannot do it all by yourself. Meanwhile, I'm so honored that my amazing armor bearers and my administrators showed up to support me on today. I wasn't looking for them to come, but I'm so grateful that they showed up. They was truly a blessing to me, just to be able to be in the building. When I looked up and saw their faces, I said, "Oh wow, what y'all doing here?" But I'm so glad that they were here. So I talked to the kids on this morning about what's your superpower. And so I want to share a little bit more in detail with you guys. What's your superpower? I think that we go through life and not realizing that we have a superpower and that God has called us to do some stuff, but we don't realize how powerful that we really are. We don't really know what we have on the inside of us. We just think that, oh, I'm just out here doing stuff. I'm just out here, I'm just walking around. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know why God has called me. And we just walking around just thinking all of that stuff, but we don't know that we have superpowers. So I asked the kids on this morning, I said, so tell me what it is that Superman does. Tell me what it is that the Hulk does. Tell me something that you know about Spider-Man. So all of them was calling out different superpowers superpowers that all of them walk in. And but literally we don't ever think about our own selves that same way. And so when we start thinking, I'm gonna just call out some names, people like Minister Desiree, people like Sister Magnolia, people like Minister Beast, people like Sister Tanya Hudson, people like Sister Wanda. We sometimes we look at each other and think that, oh, I don't have what she have. I can't do what he can do. I don't know how to walk in what they're doing. And so it is start making you compare yourself and not realizing that you have a superpower, your own self. And I said on today when I was talking to the kids, I said that I look at Sister Wanda. I said that I can hold a note, but I hold a note in I'm fine backgrounding. I don't feel confident leading, but I know that I can hold a note. I feel more confident praying. I feel more confident preaching, teaching, equipping people to walk in who God has called and ordained for them to be. I'm more confident in that. And Sister Wanda don't not like necessarily to talk in front of people. But when you start looking at each other superpowers and be like, oh wow, they're amazing, they're so but we don't look at our own selves as being amazing. When we look at the Hulk, we think about, oh, the Hulk can really tear up some stuff, can really tear down some walls, can really show up. And he always like to say, you don't like me when you make me angry, you don't like me when you make me mad, because he understood the power that he possessed, and that the power that he possessed can tear up some stuff, can cast down some stuff, put some folk in their place. But the whole time other people might look at the Hulk and be like, oh, he's just weak because he's David Banner. But when he turned into the Hulk, he's a whole force to be reckoned with. When you look at Superman, and you look at Clark Kent can't do what he can do when he ain't walking in his superpower. So when you begin to walk in your superpower, I can't do nothing in my own strength. But when I begin to walk in the strength of the Lord and Savior, my God, that has sent me, I'm able to do all things through Christ that strengthen me. I can walk in whatever I want to walk in. I can run through a brick wall. I can preach. I can prophesy. I can operate under the unction that the Lord has given me. Why? Because I'm no longer operating at myself. So when you look at Spider-Man as just being Peter, you don't understand that he's a whole force to be reckoned with when he began to operate in his superpower. It does not make you to be able to operate in your superpower just because you got on a cape. But are you fulfilling the assignment? Every day that we get up, we all getting up with our capes on. We got to conquer the world. We got to attack some stuff. We got to do some stuff. We got to walk in some stuff. Why? Because I'm operating now under my superpower. Who has given me the superpower? God has. All of us got gifts. All of us got callings. All of us got a purpose. I told the kids on today, I wish that I had somebody to come tell me when I was in the fifth grade that I got a purpose, that me talking all the time was going to fulfill an assignment that was upon my life, that I was going to use that gift to be able to talk, to be able to walk in my purpose, to stand before other people, to tell them that, look, you got something greater on the inside of you. You're called to do something so much greater. You're powerful. You're anointed. You're called by God. You're chosen by God. Who would have ever thought that just because you talk all the time and talking with my friends, laughing and kikiing and carrying on, that God was going to use that same little voice, that I never thought that people paid me no attention, that I was not heard, that I was looked over. And here come God saying, yeah, that's your superpower. You just didn't know how to use your superpower then. But now I'm going to help you to be able to understand how to use your superpower, so that now you're able to accomplish the thing that I have called you forth to be able to walk in. Some of us look at our creativity and be like, I just like to make stuff. I just like to do stuff. All of a sudden, stuff just come to me and all of that stuff, and you're not realizing God is already showing you that you got a superpower. That I'm taking that now, and okay, now all of a sudden I'm making quilts. All of a sudden now I'm doing T-shirts. All of a sudden now I'm baking cakes. I'm decorating. I'm into interior decorating. I'm into fashion. I'm into design. I'm into all that stuff. Why? Because now I'm tapping into my superpower, who God has called and ordained for me to be. Ever since since I was a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to do hair. Nobody else could ever tell me that I was not gonna do hair. I already knew. I used to have all my doll babies lined up right beside me. They was getting sew-ins, they was getting color with Kool-Aid, they was getting haircuts, they was getting pressing curls, they was all of that stuff. And I didn't know then that God was already equipping me and preparing me to walk in the superpower that He has given me. And so therefore we miss our purpose because we so busy looking at Magnolia. No, I don't do what Magnolia do. I don't do what Sister Tiffany do. I don't do what they do. I do what I do. And so oftentimes we start comparing ourselves. Well, I can't do it like her. I don't do events like her. I don't do like none of that. And so then you start comparing yourself. And then you start downplaying your own superpower. And then you will realize that God, then you'll start thinking that, oh, maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe God ain't called me. Maybe I can't do this. And so all of a sudden you start planting seeds of doubt. And then you'll never fulfill what God has called for you to do. Romans 12:6-8 tells us, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. In other words, God is saying there's a grace. There's gifts on the inside of us, but I got a grace to walk in it. When people tell me all the time, I don't know how you stand up all day and do hair. I don't know how you always going to preach this place and do this, and you always go speaking and doing this. And I don't understand. I got a grace. Why? You're not tired? No, I'm operating up on the grace. I'm walking into the grace of the gift that God has given me. So when you begin to walk in the grace that God has given you, you're able to accomplish some stuff. Super Maya, I'm about to say Nehemiah because I saw the name popped up. Sorry. But when Superman began to operate in the grace of the calling, the grace of the anointing, the grace of what was given to him, listen, he wasn't worried about trying to be like Batman. He wasn't worried about trying to how to be like Spider-Man. He was operating under the grace of what was given to him. And I know you might say, but that's cartoon, Pastor. Absolutely. So let me run you up to speed and let me talk to you now about you. So the grace that you're operating up under now is the grace that God has given you to be able to fulfill the assignment that He has given you, to fulfill the assignment that He has called you to be able to walk in. You're called, you're chosen for such a time as this. Why? Because you got a grace to be able to do it. You're not tired. You're not worn out. You can sing all day. I can preach all day. I can pray in my sleep. Why? Because I know that I operate under a grace that God has given me, operated under anointing that God has given me. No, I might not do it like Minister Desiree. No, I might can't pray like Minister B. But guess what? I can pray like how God has given me to be able to do it. I might not be able to do it like Evangelist Letitia McCloud. I might can't do it like Evangelist Audrey Bonaparte. But I'm operating under the grace that I walk in, that I'm called to be able to fulfill the assignment that God has called and instructed for me to be able to do. So Paul makes something very clear to all of us. We have different gifts. We all got different superpowers. That means comparisons is unnecessary. I don't have to ever compare myself to you. You don't have to ever compare yourself to me. Why? Because we all got different gifts. I told the kids on today, they can be 5 beauty salons on each corner. Can be right next door to me. When I was doing hair on Carolina Avenue, there was a salon that was next to me before the barbershop moved there. And the parking lot used to be jam-packed. Jam-packed from people that was coming to me and jam-packed of people going to them. What are you saying, Dr. Pastor? What I'm saying is the fact of the matter is there are gonna always be people that you're assigned to and that I'm assigned to. And just because they don't come to you and just because they don't go to them does not mean that we ain't all operating up under the grace that God has given us. I have an anointing. I have gifts. I got superpowers. You got superpowers. We weren't mad at each other for people going to her salon. She wasn't mad because people was coming to my salon. Guess what? There was enough of room for all of us to be able to eat. Why? Because we're all operating under the unction of the grace that God has given us. All of us. No need to compare. So in other words, God is saying everyone, everyone doesn't have the same assignment, the same personality, We don't even have the same capacity. And even though that there are many people that do hair, there are many people that do makeup, there are many people that cook, there are many people that bake, all of that. But guess what? That's cool because all of us operating how we called to operate. Um, 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 uh, when we was talking about, I sold some pies for my fundraiser. Do you think? Do you think that I think that I'm the only one that know how to bake a pie? Do you think that I think that I'm the only one that know how to make a sweet potato pie? No. But guess what? That ain't my concern. When I begin to do what I know that I can do in my ability, it does not matter if Evangelist Audrey can bake it better. Does not matter if Minister Tiffany can make it better. It does not matter if Sister Magnolia can. That ain't my concern. My concern is that I'm able to do what I can do with what I'm able to do it in my own grace, walking into the grace that God has given me in my capacity. That's it. That's it, minister. I ain't mad. If you go go get patty pies, I'm not mad. If you go get let me see, Sister Patricia Brown pies, Evangelist Audrey pies, Sister Tanya Hudson pie, I don't care. But guess what? At the end of the day is I'm operating in what God has called me to do. Most of the time, people that try to make you focus on comparisons or making you feel like you're not doing anything, half the time it's people that's not doing anything. Most of the people that are telling you that you're not called, that you're not chosen, that you can't do this and that you can't do that, half the time there are people that's doing absolutely nothing. So when you start listening at voices of people, well, you know such and such do hair better. Oh, she can cut better than her. Okay, cool. But guess what? That still ain't gonna stop me. I bake cakes. My mom baked cakes. I'm not in competition with my mom on baking a cake or a pie. I know that I can bake a cake. I know I can bake a pie. I know I can cook too. But I'm not in competition with her. I let people be who they are going to be. And I celebrate that. I clap for you. I'm rooting for you. I don't get mad and say, oh no, I'm not going to use them because they can pray better than me. Who says? Who says they can? Who? Who says? Who says that? Because aren't we talking to the same God? Or are you only interested in exciting the people, but not touching God? Who says that? So when you know your ability, when you know your superpower, listen, I'm not in competition with you. I'm here to serve and occupy until Jesus come. So so the difference is not that you're not capable of doing it. The difference is fulfilling your superpower is they know what their superpower is and they're doing it. And they're doing it. So when you're starting to try to identify what is my superpower? What is my ability? What is something that you naturally do well in? People think going to cosmetology school, I'm gonna just go to cosmetology school. They don't know how to do absolutely nothing. But they go to school looking for the school to teach them how to do hair. I was an instructor for about not even quite 90 days. And there was a young lady, oh, she was just the sweetest. Oh, I used to try to take up so much time with her. Come on, baby. Come on, let me show you how to do this. The baby couldn't do a roller set. She didn't even know how to hold her shears. And I'm like, come on, baby. Come on. Let me show you how to do this. Come on, let me help you with this right here. not understanding that you can't just go to school and expect for somebody to teach you a gift. You got to already have the gift in you, which is your superpower. I can help teach you how to develop the gift that's in you more, to equip you more, to cultivate it more. But I definitely can't can't teach you how to sing and you can't carry a note to the mailbox. I definitely can't show you anything about fashion when you already don't have it in you. You just plain Jane. You already don't have it in you. I can't teach you it. There are people that's gifted to cook that can just take anything. I mean anything and make it out of something. They're gifted. They're gifted at it. It's a superpower. But I don't have to. God bless you, woman of God. I don't have to. When you have a superpower, to know how um um that that you can just walk in the room and command the room just with your presence. You already have the ability to be able to function and operate. It's already in you. If you don't know me, I said this when I was talking to the fifth graders this morning. If you didn't know me, if I can walk in a room and I don't know anybody, I sit there. I'm kind of reserved. I'm quiet. I'm examining the room. You would think that I don't talk at all. But my husband, he don't have to know you. He don't have to have ever been there. And he walking in the room, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey. And he walking in, that's not my personality. That's not my superpower. But then there are things that he depend on me for. He be like, baby, what you thought about this right here? Because I have discernment. While he over there, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'll be like, oh yeah, that a witch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They ain't really for you. They're jealous. They're good. It's somebody to connect with. But he don't necessarily pick up on that because we don't have the same gift. So identifying what your superpower is, start looking at what you do well. That comes easy. You don't even think about doing it. You just do it. You just operate. You just be like, "Ugh." I look at Sister Tanya, Sister Wanda. They be like ready. Be like, they walk in, they ready to clean something. I walk in rooms and I can see empty chairs, and I've already now in my mind have already imagined it being a whole conference. Oh, I can teach this right here. I can hear you say one word, and I done prepared a whole message in my head off of that and run with it. So, what are some things that you do well without thinking about it, without straining? You do it with like no effort at all. You can just do it. What do people consistently come to you for? Like, golly, they always come and talk to me about their problems. They always want my advice. They always, yes. So start looking at yourself. What is it that they consistently come to you for? You might think it's no big deal, but here they saying, I just need, I just need to talk to them. I just need to share something with them. They constantly calling on you to cook. They constantly calling on you to to do their makeup, write their resumes, to do their administration work. They always calling on you. They know the right people to put in place because they know how to keep the crowd interested. You talk well. You present yourself well. You dress well. They come to you for ideas on about fashion. They consistently come to you for it. What comes naturally to you that seems difficult for others? What is it? It might be difficult for you to speak in front of crowds, but it comes easy to somebody else. For our training for leadership Hartsville, they had people, they said, who's afraid to talk in front of crowds? And everybody, they was like, oh no, oh no, I don't want to do it. And it was only like a handful of us that was like, oh, what you want me to say? I'm ready. You you they can put you up to the mic and you'll speak. One of my mom's friends was saying that they wanted to use somebody, but they didn't use them because they said it take them almost 6 months to prepare a sermon. I was like, what? Are they called? Are they called? And I was looking at the time and it was like 9 o'clock. I said, you can call me. Say, I need for you to show up at 12. Can you preach? Yes. Why? Because I'm called to it. It comes naturally. It's taking you 6 months. Baby, do you read? Do you study? Do you spend time with the man? Because it can't take it. Yes, be ye also ready. But it's taking you 6 months. My God, today, what's happening? Yes. So you you got to start asking yourself, am I really called to this? Is this my superpower? Is this what God has called me to do? They told me to be in place today by 9:30. I got there at 9:15. They was already sitting there waiting for me. I already had in my mind everything th- that I thought that I was gonna do. But when I got there, because they was ready, ain't I? Oh well, okay, because it's already in me. My superpower. I can talk to you about purpose all day. I know that God has called me to do that. I know that God has gifted me to be able to help pull out purpose out of you. And so when you know that, it might be difficult for somebody else. Somebody can tell me a dream. I'm like, okay, I already got some of it off of just a little bit that they sent me. But let me pray some more and get the rest. But for the most part, blase, blase, blase is being said. Superpower. Have you ever dismissed something God gifted you with because it seemed ordinary? Because sometimes we're waiting for a dramatic spiritual gift, something dramatic to happen. Sometimes people I want to speak in tongues because it sounds like you more holy. You want to be able to sing because you think that that gift is more powerful or brings more attention than others. You want to prophesy because that gift seems like it's more powerful than a teacher getting up teaching. But pay attention. Your ability to listen may be a ministry. Maybe God is calling you to be a consultant, to be a coach. Your ability to organize may be ministry for you. Maybe calling you to be administrator. Maybe calling you to to set up um events to help organize it. Your ability to encourage still may be ministry. Could be your superpower. I'm just an encourager. Wake up off the rip. You don't even know all the details. I don't even have to know everything that's going on. But all of a sudden, give you encouragement. All of a sudden, just speak into your life and empower you, encourage you. Your ability to see solutions may be ministry for you. It could be your superpower. Imagine how many people need you to help solve some problems for them. They give them the solution. And here you thinking, oh, this is just ordinary. You real compassionate. You just be like, oh, I'm not talking about nobody just feel sorry for somebody, but just real compassionate. Know how to speak to people in a way that cause them to get up and thrive. Got compassion because you know where God and brought you from. Got great leadership ability. Why? Because it can be a ministry. Your gift, even though you have gifts, even though you have superpowers, it's not your identity. You have gifts, but your gift is not who you are. Our identity comes from God, but our gift will help us to be able to understand who we are. Ephesians 2:10. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. So before you ever discover your gift, God knew you. Before you ever stepped into ministry, before you ever started walking in your superpower, God said, yes, I have need for you. Your gift, your superpower should point people always to the gift giver, which is God, and not become a source of pride, arrogance, or anything. When you begin to know that you're called by God, that you're chosen by God, and you start recognizing that's my superpower. I didn't even recognize that. I didn't even think that I could do that. I didn't even think that I was called to do something with this right here. Then you begin to realize that's my superpower. That's it. So all the stuff that you was looking over and you was thinking that it didn't matter. Bless you, woman of God. All the stuff that you was thinking that did not matter. God was already preparing you to walk in your purpose, to fulfill your assignment. You just got to know what your superpower is. So on today, I challenge you. Pay attention to something that you do. Something that people call on you to do all of the time that you just ignored. Just thought that I just do it. People are always calling on you to keep their kids. You just great with kids. That's your superpower. You might be called to open up a daycare. You might be called to be over the youth ministry. Recognize what it is and know that God is calling you to so much greater. I'll leave you with this final thing. When you begin to fulfill your assignment, your superpower cannot be denied. You'll be amazed at God saying, I've been waiting on you all this time to recognize what I've been called to do to make an impact in the world. Share a quick testimony with you. I got full yesterday and even on this morning when I started thinking about an opportunity that came for me that I was not expecting, that I was not looking for at all. And the whole time I've been trying my best to show my hometown my superpower, wanting to um, host conferences, do retreats, do empowerments, do all of that stuff. And the whole time I was like, and started thinking about God, Jesus. He said that the least amount of miracles that he did was in his hometown because people have a perception of you, of how you started, what you look like. That no matter how much you do, no matter how much you use your superpowers that change the world to accomplish dreams, to make an impact, people will still see you as how you started in the beginning of your story. And people will hold you to a chapter and it'll make you doubt that you got superpower, that God called you. And people will hold you to a chapter. Imagine if we all just got stuck with looking at David Banner, looking at Peter Parker, looking at Clark Kent, and just stayed stuck on them being weak or being beat up because they couldn't fulfill the assignment on their life until they had to make a transition. The transition was they had to become vulnerable enough to trust the superpower in them to go conquer the world. And so I started saying to God that sometimes we allow people to hold us in a place that we no longer see our superpower because we start looking at ourselves how they see us and not how God sees us. Not realizing that God still is writing our story. He's still writing a book for us. And now that things have changed, things have moved and shifted in our lives, that we're walking under a different grace. We're walking with the superpower that God has given us to be able to accomplish everything that He has spoken over our lives. But people that we first met along the way, they're still holding us to the first chapter, the second chapter. Sometimes the fifth chapter also got a little tough. But oh boy. But now that I know my superpower and I realize that I'm called to reach more than just the people in my hometown, that I'm called to reach more than just the people that I just know, you begin to see yourself different. And I started weeping because somebody asked me, I need for you to come with me. What's your schedule? Because I need for you to help shift the room for me. I was like, wow. I need for you to pray. I need for you. All this time, I started off as an intercessory prayer leader. I used to try to beat the other intercessors there because I wanted to pray. I wanted to get there. Not that I'm in competition with nobody, but I wanted to get there because I love to pray. I enjoy prayer. And here comes somebody. When somebody else was saying, she do too much. She prayed too long. Here comes somebody else saying, I see your superpower. I want you to come pray, shift the room. And I want you to speak voice that other people that may know you don't receive. Or somebody that don't know you say, I want that. I want you to come help. Tear it up with the superpower God has given you. I got full. And I said, all this time, we trying to convince other people that's convinced on not seeing our superpowers. They're convinced on not seeing it. But here comes somebody say, nah, you ain't got to convince me. I see your superpower. I want you to operate freely. I want you to move. I want you to fulfill the assignment that's on your life because I see it. You ain't got to beg me to walk on the stage. You don't, I don't know. She's saying, there's an assignment now here for you. You no longer have to beg to be here. I open up the door for you. So when we begin to know that I'm confident in the superpower that I possess, listen, you realize that God was setting you up for your purpose all along. And it's now time for you to walk in it. I pray that you have been blessed on today. I pray that something that I said, something that I have given has helped you to be able to understand your superpower, your gift, your calling, and you're able now to go conquer the world. Listen, I'm Dr. Deidre Samuel McLeod, and I pray that I'll see you again next Tuesday at 10:30 and next Friday and this Friday morning at 6 a.m. as we go forth in prophetic intercession. Listen, tonight, we have prayer and Bible study on tonight. God is pushing us somewhere. God is taking us. Service was so amazing Sunday. I never had a chance to preach. So I told them I'll teach them the lesson on this coming Tuesday. So I'm excited about sharing with them about when your past call you. You don't have to answer. That's what we're going to be talking about on the day so that we can be able to fulfill our purpose and the assignment that God has given us. I love you guys. Join Reverend Mother Betty Samuel every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. as she go forth in noonday prayer on her Facebook page. Join every Monday at 7:30 with Minister Bianca T. James and Deacon Clyde James as they go forth, helping us to be able to have beautiful and loving marriages, that we can take the nuggets that they give us to help make us better. And join us every Thursday at 9 p.m. on Evangelist Letitia McLeod's page as she go forth in power ministry and power prayer. I pray that you all have been blessed. I love you guys. Have an awesome and wonderful day. And to God be all of the glory.